Hey y'all, hey, it's your co-host Lucretia Haley, speaker, author, and purpose and relationship coach. And listen, ladies, are you seriously dating and need some guidance to make sure you aren't wasting your time? Or are you engaged and need some wisdom to properly prepare your heart and mind for your upcoming new lifestyle shift? If you said yes to either, then you need to join us in a good thing in the making. It's a 3-day challenge for women who desire marriage and are actively planning for a great marriage. This event will be hosted virtually from December 1st through December 3rd, and I am speaking on day 1, so I definitely need you to come in the room, okay? Registration is required, and details and the link will be in the description. So I cannot wait to see you there. Listen, let's prepare for the man you've been praying for. All right? I love you. Bye. Hey, we're back for another season of When Marriage and Purpose Collide.
We're here to inspire and encourage Christian singles who are striving to date with a desire and purpose for marriage.
We will provide you with thought-provoking hot topics that not only challenge your thinking, but can encourage you in your single season.
We speak about topics like this all the time. We're just taking you along for the ride.
So sit back and join us. On to the episode. Yo.
Welcome to
When Marriage
and Purpose
Collide
podcast.
We back. We back.
Get them snaps in there.
We back.
Hopefully you heard that because every other can't hear the snaps for some reason. Snaps.
Yeah, you can't hear some of the things in there.
But I changed the thing to, yeah.
We back for another episode, and we have 2 episodes left. So this episode and then the next one.
This is number 9.
Number 9. It been number 9 going down like Anyway. Oh, I was trying to say engine number 9.
Oh, engine number 9.
But I forgot what it was.
You said
that's why I couldn't figure out. I was like, what did they say?
Like,
anyway, we're back, and we're gonna share at the end what we want help with for our last episode.
Yes.
So we're gonna come back.
Our latest.
Yes. What?
That's not this one. The one, yeah. She got
for
it.
The next episode, we're gonna tell you.
Oh, last. I'm thinking
gonna tell
previous.
No, what
you
we
meant
need
last.
some help with. So y'all got to stick around because we're probably gonna do something special for the last episode because we love y'all out here in these streets. But we want to thank y'all for the comments and the likes and the subscriptions. Y'all, can y'all subscribe to the YouTube page?
Yes.
YouTube, you looking at us, you've been watching us, all the things. How about you go ahead and subscribe, okay? We are about 5 subscribers away from 100. Okay, and I know y'all like 100, that's low. For people on YouTube, you know how hard it is to build subscribers?
Give you a virtual high five giveaway.
I'm just saying. So, if you're listening to us on Spotify or on a podcast streaming site, go head over to YouTube. You can still keep listening to us over here.
We on Apple
but go
too.
to YouTube, click the subscribe button, and go back to your podcast streaming. Okay, that's all you. Yeah. You can still go view us there.
Unless you just like looking at us.
Unless you like looking at us. I know I like looking at a lot of podcasters too, so I can understand this is why we have this element. But sometimes I do like listening to some. So, whatever floats your boat. Oh, excuse me. And he did say we're all on Apple, but yes, we're on all major podcast streaming sites. So go on and get that.
Hey, if y'all got Kindle, check if we on that too.
Kindle. Kindle's
ain't that the reading one?
Yeah, how we on Kindle?
Hey, if it translated our stuff on Kindle, I'm gonna put it on there and make it a book.
Oh my goodness.
My bad.
And your bad all the way, because why?
Kindle got the read out loud.
They do got the read out loud. That's not what we're doing.
They could transcribe and put it on.
We probably could, but anyway. So we like to start off our episodes with Confessions.
Confessionals.
This is my confession.
Confessionals.
Yes. All right. So you go ahead and take it away. What is your confession tonight?
So the other day, I forgot what day it was. I think it was like after Thanksgiving or something like that. I was reminded, I don't know why I was reminded of it, but during COVID, I was watching some Tom and Jerry. Yeah, it's very random. I was watching Tom and Jerry with the kids. Actually, it was just one kid, or was it two kids? Either way, with the kids. And a scene popped up where Tom was chased. No, which one's Jerry's the cat?
Yes, because Tom the cat. Yeah. Tom cat.
No, Jerry's the mouse. Then
I mean, what?
Tom and Jerry. Which one's the mouse? Anyway,
say,
the cat.
I meant to say what you said was right,
I was
but
like,
I messed it up.
Tom the cat. I just said Jerry the cat.
Jerry's not the cat. I know that for sure.
Okay.
It don't sound right for Jerry to be the cat.
Anyway, so Jerry chasing Tom chasing Jerry, wherever it was. They was getting chased by the pit bull, and van hit up like a pothole with mud in it, and it hit their face, and the mud came down, and they had blackface on. And I was like, I don't know how well I liked that scene, because it stayed in there a little bit. And it was like, made sure we seen that they had blackface. And this was like during the time where they was canceling a lot of shows, and I was like, should I say something? But then I looked online, and I guess people says other things. I guess they have several scenes of blackface in Tom and Jerry, and people have brought it up before, but I didn't
several scenes.
I didn't hear no uproar, and I still got the image in my phone.
You saved it?
Oh yeah.
It was that one episode though.
Yeah, it was just that one episode. And it was on YouTube.
I don't know. Do they still show the old episodes?
You can still find them.
Okay.
Oh well, they said they took those certain episodes off air. It's just I just happened to see it on YouTube.
Okay, because we was talking about the new Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, they don't got no blackface.
I'm just saying, it's just like, why is it mixed with people, and
Oh,
like,
you talking about
like
the
whole,
movie?
Like the new yeah. They do it so different, and it feels weird to still be messing each other up like that.
No, they got I call it the Space Jam effect.
Yeah, that's what it feel like. But yeah,
that was my confession.
That was your confession. How'd you feel about it?
I still don't like it. The fact that it was like, wait a minute, now you just got the blackface and it's all everybody to see. But then when I read it, I felt a little better because it's no longer there.
There's a lot of cartoons they had to do that with.
Yeah.
Over the course of time. I remember looking at Looney Tunes and it not tripping when I was younger, but then looking at it later on, I was like, I cannot believe I watched this. Like, Looney Tunes was off the chain with some things that was in it.
Because I think they used to have the black lady in Tom and Jerry.
They had a black lady in Tom and Jerry?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It was Tom and Jerry. There was a black lady, and she was always in the kitchen or something like that. It was something weird.
I don't remember.
And she was always hitting them with a broom.
Okay. I never did really get into Tom and Jerry. I didn't.
It's just stuff I seen.
I didn't. Yeah. Thanks, babe, for sharing.
Welcome.
For mine, got to put the timer on. For mine, I had two that I was toggling between. Like, I couldn't figure out which one I wanted to do. But the one I want to do is, I posted it on Facebook, was about our son, how he just stopped me and does not want me to call him his baby name anymore.
He don't want no Bubba.
So his baby name, yes, was Bubba. And the reason we had it, because some people are like Bubba, and it's common when you have a sibling and, the older sibling, and they are still learning how to say words and all that stuff. And so that's where Bubba came from. It wasn't because we wanted him to be called Bubba. Like,
yeah,
Bubba.
Especially after we took him out and heard like 14 different kind of Bubbas.
Right. We heard everybody's son is Bubba out there. And so I think it was at the zoo or something like that. I was like,
the
it's
zoo restaurant.
And so it was his baby name. And so of course we still use it. I don't know, you use it?
I call him Boy.
Oh, Boy. Okay. I use it a lot. And a lot of our family does. But the kicker is we took them to the sitter, and I told her about it.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, oh, he allowed me to call him that. So he doesn't stop her. He just stops me.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel some sort of way about that.
He said, I'm not Bubba, I'm Lavelle.
He says, I'm not Bubba, I'm Lavelle. He keeps telling me that. He said, no, I'm Lavelle. And I'm like, and he's adamant about it. And the one thing I like about it is that, it's a mixed feelings about it. I'm grieving his baby stage, of course, because now he's growing into a little boy. But then also I like it because he's able to speak up for himself. Mm-hmm. Like he's able to tell you, this is what I don't like anymore. And I have to respect that too. Some things I'm like, listen, or I'm gonna forget. Honestly, truth be told, he gonna have to give me grace. Cause listen, we was calling you a whole 3 going on 4. And I was saying that for 3.5 years. And you gonna stop me now?
Mm-hmm.
You gonna stop me now?
Just do it anyway.
Okay. So I'm gonna keep doing it. So anyway, but that's my confession is that, I don't know. I just feel I have mixed feelings and I feel some sort of way. Those are my feelings about it. I have nothing to, I don't have a specific feeling. Like I feel sad, I feel glad, I feel this, I feel that. It's mixed feelings all over the place. And I don't know what feeling it is.
Because if you think about it, I don't think we have an actual nickname
for
Lavelle.
No.
Because technically that we was using as a nickname.
I sometimes mix it and call him Bubbles.
He definitely don't like Bubbles.
He don't like Bubbles.
He don't like Bubbles.
But I don't know.
He likes Bubbles. He don't like being called Bubbles. He would definitely correct you on that.
We might grow into something. Like I have a nickname my mom calls me too. So it has nothing to do with my name though. It's nothing.
I started calling him King, but he said no. He didn't want that.
He doesn't understand it
because he don't understand that's his name.
He don't understand that's his name, but also he don't understand it.
Yeah.
So until he gets to that rites of passage stage,
when you're adult,
that's 16, 17, we're gonna do a rites of passage ceremony with him. You don't know that, but we're gonna do that.
I was like, when does this happen? Rites of passage.
So all the men in the family are going to get together and they're going to encourage our son. All the men in the family are going to do this.
I feel like
we're going to do it for Delea. All the women in the family we're going to come around.
I feel like you got that off a YouTube video or
something. I TikTok, but it's done. So
all right.
And it kind of goes into our next segment, actually, of the podcast.
Technically, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give an intro of the topic today. So y'all saw the title. Hey, yay, we were talking about this. But so we want to get into emotional safety and Black men. Emotional safety and Black men. And this is a heavy hitter topic. We know that we're not going to cover each and every area, right, of this because it's heavy wherever you take it. We're just going to talk from our own experiences and what we've known, what we've seen, and our perspective. We do know that they are experts, they are therapists, there are people out there that can really give you the nitty-gritty data, details, statistics, all the things on this. But we are just going to give you what we think. So I don't want y'all thinking like, I don't know. We just talking. Okay, this is what we do. We have conversations like this all the time. We just bringing you along for the ride. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Our personal experiences advisory.
Personal experience advisory. Yeah. All right, but yeah. So I thought this would be a great topic. We saw DJ pulled up a TikTok video of this, and so we're gonna play the first part of it. Yeah, we're gonna cut this up into parts. Like this can take us through the whole episode, honestly, the way it is. So we're gonna try our best to do it and not to be overtime. But yeah, so he's gonna play the first part and we're gonna talk about it. All right.
But I've said like, well, maybe as it's trying to get to solutions, or maybe you should go to therapy, or maybe we can go to therapy or something like that. What's something else that we can say to empower and encourage our men to have a safe space?
So the thing is, it's not what's being said. It's that a lot of times that answer is to dismiss people. Yeah. Most people, that was my point in saying it's actually hard to get a therapist with a regular job. You actually have to be diagnosed with something. So if the majority response is go to therapy and the majority of people not in therapy, that's not being said out of support. It's being said to dismiss. Your issues are more glaring than mine. You're being outward, like we're not being supportive as a community. It's like, just go to therapy. I don't want to hear it.
Right,
okay,
no, I get.
Yes. So therapy in the Black community, this is a heavy hitter of his point of view about how it's displayed. What's your takeaways from that part?
I ain't gonna lie, I've been guilty of, like, when you see something going wrong, like, oh, he need therapy, or they, oh, guys, one of the kids.
I don't know what they're doing back there.
Anyway, like, that's usually like automatic go to, especially like, I ain't been to therapy, I need to go.
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever I see other people going through stuff, like one from my brother, I'm like, he just need therapy. When, of course, there could be other ways.
And
well, I'm just using that example. Yeah, he definitely needs therapy though.
Somebody need ands.
He needs therapy and medicine. But it's just I've been in that situation where it's just like automatic. Hey man, you just probably need to just do some therapy, and not thinking it's a kind of a way to dismiss of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, let's go to the next conversation that we're talking about. Like, I know you got stuff going on, but you probably need to just talk to a professional.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, let's talk about football.
Right.
Something like that. Which in our men's community, a lot of times we dismiss our feelings. Especially when we're talking to our boys or something like that. Well, not now. I'll say before. Now it's more like, hey, we at that level to where we talk about certain stuff like that. Especially my friends group, but my friends been in my circle since elementary. So
when you do bring it up, like, or if you were to bring it up in your group, in your circle, whether it be family or your friends, how do you think it's perceived if you were to tell them, hey man, have you tried or whatnot?
It depends on who I'm talking to.
Mm-hmm.
If it's family, then we just have like a discussion or something like that. Therapy won't even be brought up.
Why?
Why? Because it's usually not an option you think of. Especially when my family, the option you think of is, all right, toughen up, keep talking about it, this and that. Hey, if you got issues, hit me up. But yeah, when we talk about certain things and we don't bring up therapy, we don't really, I don't think it's ever a thought. It's more of, we talk about it and then find solutions like amongst ourselves. And really there's no checkup on it either. It's more like, hey, right here and now, talk about it, and then boom. Now with my friends though, it's like they'll do a little bit deeper, give you some instructions, probably ask you about it later on whenever we do checkups or whenever we see each other. And we may bring up therapy if that's an option, but a lot of times that's not in the conversation.
That's interesting. What about church men? Has that ever been anything?
No.
Okay.
No, with churchmen, especially with our group. Well,
churchmen. The churchmen.
The churchmen. No, it depends on the group, because there's some groups where we talk about our issues and we go to God with it. And then we may talk about it like, hey, we pray on it, this and that, and then we bring it up the next time. Hey, how it go? Like, we'll bring it up and then pray on it. But it's usually not followed up with help unless you do it outside of that. And basically, to go back to what he was saying, like, a lot of our jobs that we have don't cover therapy unless there's something actually wrong with you. So that option is not even like, just like I was saying before with the communication with my friends and cousins. That option is not even there.
So if you bring it up, it's like,
because that's money out your pocket, like actual out your pocket, and not out your insurance. So a lot of times you ain't even gonna see that as a option, especially how much it costs.
Right. And just at my job, we're trying to help some of the students out. It's a hassle just to get in there for lower to nothing cost, or it's a sliding scale. So you're going in, and the price depends on what you're doing, how you're going about it.
Yep.
And then sometimes it's straight to psychiatry.
Yeah.
Psychiatry.
Psych ward.
Well, no, I'm not really psych ward, but medicine. It's straight to medicine, and it's
Well,
not the therapy part.
Well, usually that's what we think of is a psych ward. Oh,
Oh, I see what you mean. Your mind automatically
think
there.
padded room, straight jacket.
Yeah, and it. Is that what you thought?
What?
Padded room, straight jacket?
Yeah, when you're talking about, oh, you need therapy. Oh, something really wrong with you.
Okay, got you.
You got some bolts loose. So let's go ahead and take you to a padded room somewhere.
Have so many thoughts, but that's going to derail us.
But that was high school. That's why.
Okay. But no, and that's interesting, because when we think of the women in the community, of course, it's very common, very common that you hear from us that we'll go get the help automatically. And I think that's what he's getting at too. I think, did she mention anything yet, or am I getting too far ahead of us? Did she say anything? She didn't say anything yet.
No.
Okay, so
I mean, she kind of asked, but we didn't get there.
Yeah. But it's yeah, but he talked about how it's automatically dismissed. Yeah. Or it's like in the conversation, you just go straight to, they have a problem, I can't help you, therapy can. Like, and so you just, well, I don't know what to do, man. Like, or I don't know, because we'll bring it up. I'll bring it up to people, or male friends, or male, like my nephew at one point, and he was like, I don't know if I could trust nobody like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, I'm trying to, help them get to the fact that you can and all that stuff. But then it's another factor is money. What I'm saying? So,
I just thought of this. It's also kind of like a double-edged thing where it's like, you already know how it was for me. You talking to me, trying to pulling teeth just to get me to talk. So for a lot of women, don't want to go through that. They don't want to put in the work to try to get the man to talk about these issues or anything, if he has any. Most likely he does, just don't want to talk about it. So now it's like, why don't you just go to a professional who can do it? And that's the way of dismissing it. It's like, I don't want it.
And that happened to somebody, I can't say names. That happened to somebody, they were in a relationship, and she automatically said, you need therapy, I think you should go. But it's because and that may have been the downfall of their relationship, because she's like, I think you have some issues, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with it. That means I don't even want to work on it. You go figure it out.
And then he never went.
Yeah.
And then
because
of the way it's done too.
Is the way it's done, and because of that, it's all automatically seen as like, why would I don't see it as a problem. But it's like, well, if she does, but she's basically putting it in a way to dismiss, it's automatic argument.
Yeah, because you're not hearing me.
Yeah, you're not hearing me.
You telling me to go straight to therapy, but I'm trying to tell you how I feel.
Yeah.
And you dismissing it, telling me to go to therapy.
Yeah.
Hey, it's your girl, Lucretia Haley, speaker, author, and purpose and relationship coach. Can I speak to you for a bit? When it comes to relationships, finances, career switches, life transitions, and dealing with you, it does seem like a ton of work. You've been struggling with your next move in life, or hitting a season of unknown, and some of you may feel like you are broken beyond repair, and it's gotten a little chaotic. Can I tell you something? Life will always be filled with chaos. You cannot run away from what is going on in this world and what you are hit with. You can control how purposeful you are once you wake up in the morning and start your day. It is a choice. Maybe in your prayer time and reflection, God has been telling you exactly what to do, and you've still been stagnant. Or maybe you just don't even know where to start. In Finding Purpose Within the Chaos, 14-day journal workbook, you will hit 14 target areas in your life that may be keeping you from pressing go. Whether you are in these dating streets, needing to set boundaries at work, mending close relationships with close friends or relatives, or even overcoming procrastination, it's time to put in the work and take action. Let me help you with Finding Purpose Within the Chaos. It's now available on Amazon. Link in the description. Love y'all. Bye. Yeah, so with the therapy thing, I agree with how
we go about dismissing folks. Because I'll fall to blame that too. Like, it's easy because of how culture has gone, and these past few years, especially with the pandemic and coming off of that, and all the post trauma that's been happening with social injustice, all the things that's been going on, or have went on, it's been highly, pushed, which I'm thankful for, because we need that, especially in the Black community. But now it's more pushed, where it's like, I don't, like you said, I don't know if I can handle this.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go to therapy.
Yeah.
And I think it's also the way we say it. And we have to learn how to navigate that in a gentle and graceful way with people.
Yeah.
We can't just, depending on that person. But yeah. But you had mentioned something about us, and you said, it took a lot for you to be able to be vulnerable and to open up and to do those things. Like, what?
Well, it wasn't.
I don't know. Go ahead.
I don't think it was me just being vulnerable, because I don't think I knew exactly how you wanted me to be vulnerable. Because I thought it was vulnerable when I was just telling you all my stories and everything, but it was more. Oh, sorry. It was more of when we first started talking, I'm telling you all them stories and everything, but you want to know how I felt about things. And if I've never ever had to practice that or talk about that, I wouldn't know that. So you're over here trying to pull teeth, like, well, how you feel about it? Oh, I felt good. All right, cool. And then next story, it's like, no, I really want to know how you feel about things. I'm like, I just said it. I felt good. All right, cool. But it was deeper than that when what you was asking. It's just us trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I think when we actually had that discussion, and it happened over time. It wasn't just like overnight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, here's my feelings. It was more like, okay, once we started doing our check-ins and how we structured that, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get what she's asking. Especially, I think we went over something where how to structure in a structural way to talk about feelings.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was.
It was the I feel.
The I feels.
Yeah. And
I know
things
it's
like
not
that.
I feels. It's like I feel.
The I feels.
The
well,
I
yeah,
feels.
it's the I feels, but it's I feel.
Yeah.
But no, I think because when we're thinking about relationships and dating, and like for the women's point of view, we want to connect that way. And I think because of what we're told, like, you need to get a man that's healed. You need to make sure the man is this. You need to make sure he's that. You have to make sure. So we automatically coming in, if we hear something, trigger, red flag, go to therapy. Like, it's so it automatically shuts us down, and we like the electricity goes down. He just need therapy. I'm out.
Yeah.
When it's really, he might not know how to express what you want. He doesn't know how to do that yet. And until you have to be patient, if that's you, and comfortable with sparking that type of communication. So the question is, as a woman, are we patient enough to do that?
No.
Should we be patient enough to do that? How far should we go till we be like, you crazy, you need versus okay, he's a good guy, I just need to figure out how to tap that side of him, versus, what's your take?
All right, so the biggest thing on that, and we'll probably hear parts of that in there. The biggest thing on that is, it don't matter where I'm at as far as say if I started a healing journey before dating and everything, I could be sitting there healing from relationships and just doing my own thing, and then finally meet somebody and they want me to be healed in another area that I didn't even touch.
Ooh.
Because I'm thinking, oh, let me heal from this relationship that hurt me. And you're like, well, how's your relationship with your mom? It's like, dang, I didn't even heal that yet. So now I gotta go through that. But guess what? She don't want to sit there and wait for me to heal from that. So now it's red flag.
Wow. So you did do a journey of healing.
That's what I'm saying.
But the other thing is, now I don't know.
And there's no such thing as a perfect man, so I can't be healed from everything.
Nobody can be healed from everything.
And that's the problem.
We have to turn the finger back on ourselves.
That's the problem. Because when we get to that point, say we start dating, you start seeing these red flags. Well, he ain't healed from this, he ain't healed for that. But it's like, I just got healing from this and that.
I still love Jesus, and I do all the things, and I'm going to men's groups. I'm being accountable.
But the problem is we don't get to the point to where it's good enough. It's always, that bar always moves. So say we do heal from my mom. Now it's a year down. I finally healed from that. Well, I guess, I need you to heal in the organization part. I need you to heal in this. I need you to, and by that time, next, you changed man. You ain't the same man before.
Right.
So it's like, okay. And here's the biggest thing that I've seen men complain about too, is, okay, we've done so much changing. What have you done?
Yikes.
We ain't healed so much.
What have you done?
What have
just
you
out
healed
here
from?
doing? You just out here just
barking orders.
Yeah.
I want you to heal from this. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. Well, okay, what you going?
Yeah.
What you heal from? Because a lot of men ain't worried about what the woman's going to be healed from. I mean, we want you to not be crazy.
Right. Right.
But we're not worried about the feelings part, because that's not how we operate.
Sure.
So we're just like, well, we just want you to not just be overly crazy. Like,
there's a bar. Not the bar is low, but it's just that it's not as high.
Yeah.
And for that feelings meter.
Yeah. It's not as high because we're over here thinking.
Y'all thinking about future and becoming a husband
and all this other stuff. We're not worried about the feelings.
Yeah.
So when feelings come in play, and it's like y'all and the women are pointing out, oh, you need to heal this and this and this, because I want you to up there with me with feelings, but feelings is always changing.
And that's why when folks get married, it hits them so hard, because they're like, oh, I never knew that.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
And there's some things that in us too that came later on. Because the thing is, like, and I won't blame it on that. I love to listen to relationship podcasts and other people, what they got to say and all that. But a lot of times what that does, it invokes conversation. And so I hear something, I'm like, oh yeah, DJ never told me about that. So I heard on the podcast the other day that you like, what the heck from?
Right. It'd be random. So how do you feel about this certain thing and this and I just walked in. Like,
but then it's another area that you're like, oh, to tap in myself and you.
Yeah.
This is why it's so healthy to kind of listen to different people that are healthy. Okay. Healthy people. You can listen to other stuff and actually come back and try to figure out how it's, it doesn't relate or doesn't align. That's also cool too. But really, you got to feed yourself with what is healthy.
Yeah.
So you can have those conversations. But all right.
All right, let me go to the second part.
Right, okay, no, I get that part. So my part now though is, okay, so now let's get past this to giving that answer. Sure. What are some ways that what are some things that I can do, or what are some things that any of the women in the audience can do, or men, to help their mate feel safe, their man feel safe, their black man feel safe? What's something that we could do for that?
I got a couple things. And I'm just going, ladies, give me grace. I don't feel like men are given that safe space in a relationship to be vulnerable and to be honest without being judged or without it being hijacked about how I made you feel about my honesty. And so what a lot of men learn to do through conditioning with dealing with women over time, even with their mothers, even with their family members, is learn to internalize this, because even if I have a legitimate gripe, I know when I tell you this, you may start to cry, you may start to flip it, and now I'm talking more about how you feel about what I said than what I actually said. And so we always talk about providing safe space for women, and that's a conversation, period, and stick that. But also for men, I think men are yelling and moving towards, like, I want to be having a safe space too. Keita, what's up?
Men are yelling too. That's what I got. Like, that was just the part that just took me to the part, because I agree with a lot of that. Like, it just makes you think about things. Yes. In this past, basically, I want to say past 5 years or so, maybe more, of course, but the women have been speaking out about how we feel and what needs to be done and where the men at, why the men ain't protecting us and all the things. And we've been, the social injustices that's been happening and where men, black men in the community, why we don't feel. But he put a spin on that to where, okay, yes, and not or but, yes, and what about the men? That's what was like, oh yeah, what about the men?
So thing is and I'm sure a lot of other men has been through things like this, but I've been through situations. Now I don't even say situationships, relationships, actual relationships where it didn't matter what I was talking about as long as it had something to do with her feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So I could actually have a legit logical issue and it got overlooked and, like he said, hijacked about feelings and it had nothing to do with that. Plenty of arguments, and it came to a point to where I would just, like he said, internally just shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of actual situations where, like, a lot of times it's just X. So I'll be sitting there, just we'll have an issue, we'll talk about it, but thing is, it's more like she'll talk about it, and I'm more like, okay, well, let me just fix it. And fixing don't even help because one, it's never my side. It's always their side.
Mm-hmm.
And like you say, you just hijack, take it. It's more of me saying I'll fix it is more of me fixing how you felt about what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Because you didn't actually hear what I said. It's just my tone, even though I'm talking to you like this, my tone automatically made you defensive and hurt because I didn't answer it on how you felt, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, like so many times I've been through that, so I don't know how to fix that.
You mean like, well, how you fix it or how it was supposed to be in that relationship?
No, that in the relationship that wasn't getting fixed, but I was
Yeah.
just saying, just in general.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't know how to fix
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah, actually, come think, we had one instance that was like that.
We did.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, because I don't know.
It was a legit reason why you was mad at me,
Mm-hmm.
but I had to tell you, like, hey,
Yeah.
like, we can't go to bed angry like this.
Mm-hmm.
But I also can't fix how you feel about
Mm-hmm.
things.
Mm-hmm.
I can fix the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I can stop that, but I can't fix your feelings.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not saying that in a way to make it like dismissive, or it's more like because I can sit there and try to fix your feelings all day long and it just makes things worse.
Yeah.
Because that's not how you want things done.
No.
So yeah, you talk to me about it, and I heard what you wanted done. I heard what was needed.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I can fix that part, but I can't fix how you feel.
Yeah. That part, I think, was illuminating moment for me, because I do remember the moment you're talking about. I think there was a couple moments, honestly, but I do remember the moment that you're talking about, and it was feeling based, hormone based, emotions attached to that. And so what women, we don't realize, we hold a lot of power. We hold a lot of power, right? We can do whatever,
Change the whole atmosphere,
change the whole atmosphere, all the
saying a word.
things. And we don't realize that. And what he's trying to do is fix.
Yeah.
All he's trying to do is fix. And he don't know, he going to attack the problem.
Hey, let me fix this.
He's going to attack the problem.
I can't change how you feel about that.
And so when it brings to that, it brought me back to, and this is why I say I always took notes in my singleness, and I always remember those sermons that really impacted me, or the people that spoke to me. I remember when Lady J, when I was single, and she brought up how a lot of times women manipulate the relationship. And she said at a point where at some point she had to catch herself, but she sees it often because of the women that are being counseled, when they go to counseling or whatnot. And I held on to that, and I remember writing notes and circling it, like, I don't ever want to be like that. Yeah. I don't ever want to feel like I have to do something, feel, cry, be the baby, that type of deal in order to get you to do something.
Yeah.
Because that's not going to help anybody.
Yeah.
I told myself I would never, and manipulation, as we know, is not a part of what God wants us to do. Right? That's not even part of the fruits that we should be bearing.
Yeah.
When it comes to being a Christian. So yes, we use that in other ways. Like, I can't manipulate my friend, I can't manipulate coworkers, whatever, but think about your significant other and what you do just to try to get them to do something. So you tap into your emotions and you go there, you yell, you scream, you cry, you do all the things to try to get them to do something. And that don't mean nothing. That's a you thing.
Yeah.
That's a you problem. Right. And so what happens is for men, so now, if I do all of that to you, I want you to, do you feel how I feel? Can't you tap into my feelings? Sorry.
The mic.
Tap into my feelings. Like, do you know how I feel? No, he does not know how you feel. Right. The only person that knows how you feel is Jesus. That's the only person that knows. He is just trying to figure out, what do I do though?
How do I do this?
And how do I do this? And so we don't know. And so we automatically shut you down, shut you off. So whatever you have to say about anything, if it's a back and forth or whatever, it shuts down because now you're not getting my feelings. So now we want you to understand how we feel instead of attacking the real issue that's at hand. And you trying to explain it, trying to help it, trying to do whatever, and it never gets resolved. It never will, because we're not allowing you that safe space to be vulnerable and to talk.
I'm glad you said safe space, because I was like, I'm trying to figure out where to put this at.
Yeah, I had to go back.
So as far as the safe space though, let me talk about this. A lot of men, even as boys too, don't have that safe space to actually share, which is the reason why the feelings are not there. Even when the feelings, as a boy, you see it in our son, he has feelings.
Okay.
I mean, just big feelings. And I know as me growing up, I probably was most likely the same way. If I remember, I was the same way. I don't know if I whined as much, but I didn't have that safe space area. So when I went to teenage years, I know my dad was trying to be that safe space. Like, I'm trying to get this boy to talk. But the thing is, you gotta understand, I didn't have that at all the way to this point. So now you're trying to get me to do something I don't know of.
You already a teenager, been practicing.
I'm already a teenager, so it's not a full-blown feelings, and you want me to share stuff.
Yeah.
And I ain't never exercised that. Nobody's ever showed me that safe space. So I'm automatically internalize.
What they say. Yeah.
So a lot of men now never got that opportunity. So when they get a woman, they're like, she can be that safe space. And then find out she's not that safe space. So every time I'm trying to, and you hear it a lot where it's like, I can't be vulnerable with her because I feel like once I do that, she's going to use it against me in the future. Oh, that's why you this and this and this. Like, just so you can just stab him as much as you want.
And he found those moments to really open up.
And he thought you was that safe space, but obviously you're not. Because he's soft.
You go and blast him out on the internet. You go and do a live about him and tell him how good for nothing he is.
That's why a lot of men don't do that. And now we're at the point, and I'm pretty sure COVID did this. Now men are at the point where they got boundaries on their safe space, which is within themselves. So now women are like, oh, these men are the sassy man in the apocalypse, wherever you want to call it. Where they're to themselves, they got feelings, they boundaries on this. I'm not doing this, get out the car. Because it's to that point to where, like, I'm not going to let you trample on my feelings just because of your feelings. Forget that. I draw the line, because it used to be, I'm open the door, I do this. You hear what I said? No, don't worry about that. No, it's more like, no, we ain't doing this.
Yeah.
Rejection, they're just like, I might as well just be by myself.
Yeah.
So it's to that point now. And thing is, women are not understanding that. Women's like, why are men acting this way? Why are they doing this? because it was they heard it for so long where y'all want them to share their feelings. So when they do, they get shut down. They get basically their feelings abused
Mm-hmm.
to the point to now they're just like, well, all right, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you some feelings
Mm-hmm.
because I. And it's crazy that all the men are doing that.
The large majority, not all.
Not all.
I would say
Majority of men are doing
majority
that.
of men are stepping out and saying, "Look, listen, this is what I'm doing."
Because I've reached that point before.
Mm-hmm.
Where I told you, I think you tried to like get me mad or something. I was like, wherever
I
you
be
did,
trying, man.
I said wherever you did is very, and not to downplay what you did.
Yeah.
It's just what the things that you've done to try to do it is minor compared to what I've been through.
What you've been through, so it didn't hit.
It didn't hit. So I already knew. You was like, how you already know how to deal with it? It's like because I've been through a lot worse, to where I had to kick people out a girl out my car. I ain't gonna say people because it was one person. It was just one person.
Kick folks out my car.
I kicked her out my car, kicked her out my place.
Yeah.
I even had people at my door, and I was just like, "You ain't coming in here." Like,
Mm-hmm.
It's a wrap. I became a whole different person that I didn't like.
Yeah.
But I had to be.
Had to be.
I mean, I was just like pure. And I can't say the word that I was, but I was that.
That.
So when she's like, "Oh, I tried," I'm like, "You don't want to see that side of me."
Exactly. And I think that's the beauty of what God does. Because yeah, I know we have to get that certain point, or men have to have those certain proper boundaries, but how do you stop and allow God to do the work on that? I feel like you're still now letting the control.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like now you're still taking control over everything, when really just same for women. Like, yeah, they hear that we have to switch the way we do things because I don't gotta share myself no more. I don't want to be vulnerable no more to no guy. I don't want to tell them my interests and all the things no more because he's gonna take it and flip it. So I'm just gonna be quiet, or I'm gonna just share the surface stuff, kind of deal. And so people are telling you to stop doing that, and so you do it. But when is it to where you be like, nah, sis, that ain't the way to do that. Nah, bro, you're not. I get it why you doing it, but where's your trust? If you putting control over this relationship and you trying to do it your way, why are you still in the same predicament you in?
So
take on that.
So we gotta look at it kind of how we've been doing our structured conversation. I think right now, as a majority just of our culture, we're at a point to where nobody's taught us how to fully have a conversation about relationship. Instead, we're just going off of social media, like, because wherever our relationships we did see were broken. So now majority of people are basing off their relationships off of broken relationships. That goes from mom's side, dad's side, uncles, whatever relationship you saw was broken. Yeah. And now you're trying to base your broken relationship or your broken thoughts on relationship onto another relationship, thinking it's supposed to work. Yeah. Instead, I think what everybody else needs now is a structured way to do things. Instead of just doing it on your own, because right now it ain't working. Obviously, men doing one thing and women want men to do something else, and it ain't working. Everything's falling apart. Yeah. And that's why they keep saying the pool dirty.
So what can be the solution for that?
So go ahead and check out my wife's
no ours.
Our communication game changer. You talking about that?
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, okay.
That was a segue into that. Like,
you've been dating for a while now, but you still feel a little uneasy about how you've both been communicating. Sometimes it feels off and you both aren't on the same page. It's hard to be consistent. You find it difficult to bring up hard and awkward conversations, and you feel like there hasn't been any true resolution to your conflict. So listen, I've been there. It's not that you aren't communicating. More than likely, it's the way you are communicating. Before DJ and I were married, we were told to communicate as a piece of advice. But how? So we developed a check-in system that helped us be vulnerable, open up, and build intimacy before marriage. Our new check-in cheat sheet, The Communication Game Changer, is available now at www.lucretiahaley.com. That's www.lucretiahaley.com. HALEY.com. And it's just for $4.99. Change the way you communicate before and after you say, I do.
Right. And what I commercial. But that's what I'm saying. And that's why God has planted a lot of things for us to do, because we see that and we know what's going on. We're talking to people about what's going on. That's why we're developing a lot of things for the singles out there.
Yeah.
So y'all stay tuned. 2024 is about to be on it popping. Let me tell you. But, you know, that's why for the men, DJ's trying to do his thing to help that. And for the women, I'm trying to do my thing to help you all together. We're trying to do our thing for the couple.
Your thing, my thing, our thing. We doing things.
We're doing things to help you all out because we see that. So I don't want y'all to be like, well, how do we do this? How do we? Don't worry no more, because we about to do some things. This is what the podcast is for, to help y'all, right? So, yeah.
Are we going to the next part?
Going to the next part, yes.
Part 3, I think.
Rebuttals match.
What's up?
My question to that is now, because you said that you feel like the conversation goes there. Is that just what the conversation turns into, and that's how you solve a problem? Because you might say something and then I respond, and that's how the conversation is going. Hey, I didn't like, I like the fact you opened up to me, but I didn't like the way you said it. So can we talk like this, or can we do that?
So in a small example of what I was talking about is what happened just now. Right? Instead of realizing how I felt was legitimate and it was real and it was authentic and it's coming from a place of this is actually happening to me.
What happened?
You said, okay, but maybe it's not happening like this. Maybe it's happening like that.
I gave you a different perspective.
Hold on, let me finish though. I guess what I'm saying is, it is that. What happens is most, and I'm generalizations, don't quote me, but most men on an average basis probably word for word cannot out-argue you or out-discuss you. So what end up happening is, if you are more skillful with words, you're more skillful with twisting, semantics, or whatever, you will take control of this conversation, and this man didn't even get out what he actually wanted to get out.
Man, listen. If that wasn't the example for the example that we was trying to hear, this man then put out exactly what he thinks men are going through, what he feels about being safe, you know, in relationships and in conversation and communication. And she comes back with the rebuttal, which I understand why she was doing it. She was doing it for a reason, but that just shows you what we tend to do. We dismiss the conversation and we come, but what about this? You know? And
which I understand why she did it like that, because her question was never answered.
It wasn't ever answered. She was trying to get to the point.
So she was just like, hold on, let me hit you with this rebuttal real quick. He was like, I didn't even get what I was saying out. Which we had the discussion before where it's like, you know how I explain things.
Gosh.
I have to do a before, during, and after when I explain things just to get to the point.
Oh, goodness.
And she'd be like, get to the point. But then
I gotta sit there.
And the thing is, if I just got straight to the point, you'd be like, how'd you even get to that?
Yeah.
So now I got to go back.
It's so funny. Me and my sister, we just talking about that today about my dad. My dad does the same thing. He talks very slow.
Yeah.
And my mom is like, if you don't get so.
But that's the thing. The thing is, it's a response to what happened before. So if that's what's happened before in previous part of our relationship, at the very beginning where I just got straight to the point because that's what I used to do, and now you want an explanation. So I've done the conditioning of getting the explanation out to get to the answer. Now you're saying, I just want the point. You saying you always would get to the point? You would never give me an explanation? There's been times where I just like got to, oh, you should do this. Well, how'd you even do that? Like, hold on. Now you're picking my brain, and then when I get there, you're like, all right, what was the point again? Right, exactly. Because I went through the whole backstory, the back door of that, and this and that, and I did this thing, and now you want the point. Now we're in a relationship where you just want the point. I don't want the full discussion. So, and thing is, well, I was getting to that. Go ahead. Sorry. When I'm doing that explanation, I just did it. When I did when I'm doing that explanation, I get cut off at the beginning. Yeah. I didn't get to the body of it. I didn't get to the end. So I never got to the point.
Yeah.
But instead, you're going off of how you feel about what I said at the very beginning.
And it never gets to the
And
point.
it never got to the point to what I was trying to say, because you could have felt a whole total fix of what I was trying to say at the end of it.
Right.
Because, or during the middle of it, because I couldn't be like, oh, this is how I felt about it at the beginning, and then you just go off of my feelings.
Yeah.
Instead of going off of what I could, like, okay, this is how I feel about it. This is what I would do. And then the fix is at the end.
Right. And I think too, what she was saying, which I get it, is the way men talk to us. And so she's like, if you come at me and we just, come at me like, like we already feel attacked. We don't like when we feel like that. And so how, you know what I'm saying?
So I've been through that before too. It's because of when it's a server, when it is a serious conversation, men get into a certain tone to let you know that we're serious about that conversation. And some men yell, which that's the immature way of doing it. But you've heard my serious voice, my serious tone.
Yeah. You're serious right now. You actually got it.
That's what I'm saying. So right, I zoned out. So that was my serious tone. But me talking like that to you and being like very choice with my
you
words.
Use your choice. You come delicately.
Well, but the thing is, you don't, and because of my tone, it don't sound like I am.
Yeah, true.
Now it sounds like you're being attacked.
That's not how you normally talk. So why are you doing that? Hold up.
And the thing is, I've done that with my kids. Somebody heard me talking to my kids this way. I'm like, hey, you need to sit down. You need to do this. You need to do that. And then you can go do this. Why do you talk to him like that? What are you talking about? I'm like, I'm not yelling at them.
You're not gentle parenting.
Because I'm not doing no gentle. I'm like, no, I was like, if I don't talk to you this way, you don't listen. If I talk to you, hey, babe, you're like, why are you talking to me like this? It's goofy. Like, no.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going off of how you feel.
Yeah.
You feel like this is serious? I'm gonna give you the tone of serious.
Yeah.
Because I am serious about this. But now you're upset because it's a little too serious.
It's a little too serious. And we take it as an attack.
Take
it as you're mean and you're not, I'm hurt. My feelings, and I don't want to dismiss those who have been through abusive relationships and have been abused verbally.
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about.
That's not what we're talking about.
It's not verbal abuse. It's actually somebody coming to you in a correct way.
Yeah.
Like that. And so you automatically feel like, oh, girl from Set It Off. We're do.
And that's what and the thing is, because of my tone, I'm trying my best not to use anything that's sharp or something that's like, can hurt you.
Exactly. And
that's where the serious tone is coming at.
But also that's where the practice and communication comes from, or comes to. Like, from her, they don't know each other. Yeah. Like that. The people that are talking on this video, they don't know each other. But I bet you if they did, if they had a close relationship with each other to where they fostered a relationship, they'll be able to know how you felt, what you felt, that the intent behind it wasn't that. And I know the intent behind your seriousness isn't to hurt me. Yeah. Right. And so, but that only comes with trust. That only comes with through time and through communication. And so when we don't have that, when we don't have trust, we don't have time, and you just put in seriousness, it automatically cuts. Right. But that's why you have to foster and learn how to cultivate a relationship with communication that works for you and your partner. Just because what we saying, something else might work for you.
I do have something to say though.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I don't want to cut you off.
Okay.
I will say first, ladies, when you're coming with your feelings, please do not be disrespectful beforehand. Because thing is, we've been through this before.
I've been disrespectful.
It was one time.
Oh gosh.
It was one time.
You pulling out all the stops for y'all. You ain't told me nothing.
I didn't tell
you. It's our check-in right now.
Okay, but it was during that same time where I came to talk to you.
Oh, okay.
Because I dismissed the disrespect. And just went straight for it. Let me try to fix. Well, Not let me try to fix. I'm telling you, I'm going to fix the issue,
Yeah.
but I can't fix your feelings. That's what came out of that.
Okay.
Instead of me coming back with disrespect, because thing is, a lot of people come back, especially a lot of men, where you hit them with disrespect. Guess what? I'm gonna hit you back
With disrespect.
So now we in a full blown argument. Point ain't even got to it. We're just arguing, and things is bad.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you come in with disrespect, don't expect the man to always be respectful back, because that's our biggest thing is respect.
Yeah.
And then love. For women, it's love and the respect. It says in the Bible. That's how we operate. So if you come in disrespectful, you ain't broke the first thing. So we ain't gonna come back with love.
Yeah.
So it's just that's just a forewarning. Just let you know. Just be respectful on your feelings.
Yeah.
You can still get that across. Just how I feel about things. And that's why I said the structure part, because a lot of us now need structure on how we should date. Instead of we just free willy-nilly now. Yeah, I say it like that.
Free willy-nilly in it.
I ain't cussing, but that don't ask me.
Okay. I can't figure out how you can nilly and cuss that. So go ahead.
You free me?
I was like, what?
What? Wherever you got, put it in there. Anyway, I'm not putting that in the poll.
What? Okay.
Anyway,
oh shoot.
Just be respectful about things, okay? Because men automatically go with whatever's on their mind. After that, just say, you know what, forget it. You're gonna be disrespectful. I'm just gonna be somebody else that you ain't gonna like.
Yeah. And you hit that. You hit what that meant, like the points that we were gonna give. I mean, we don't really have to say no more. It's really, we talked about communication. We talked about creating the atmosphere well, I don't think we really talked about it, but being able to, if you create the atmosphere for vulnerability, for you to be able to talk it out. So maybe, okay, yes, y'all got into an argument. Y'all went at it back and forth. What now? Create the atmosphere for y'all to talk, not when y'all still heated.
Yeah. Take a little break. Somebody go downstairs, upstairs. If y'all don't have that, somebody go outside.
Right.
Take that break.
Yeah.
But don't go to bed mad.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about also dating couples. Go ahead. But yes, for marriage.
I mean, y'all can still date, not be in the bed. I mean, together.
I'm saying for married couples, yes.
For married couples, yes. For if y'all dating, still don't go to bed mad.
Separately.
In your own places.
Don't go to sleep.
Right. Don't go to sleep yet. In your own bed, miles away. That's what you wake up and I'm still angry.
Don't be shacking and mad.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, but create the atmosphere for that, for somebody to open up. I mean, and even so, take some time. Really, what we're saying is time. You know what I'm saying? Because it might be where you're like, you know what? Can we talk about it in the morning? It's okay. I love you, or let's just take the night, y'all part ways. So yeah, those are some points. And then also like affirmations and appreciation. Like, let's not forget that, like, you have to create the environment for that to happen, and sometimes patience too. A lot of times we're impatient. We want things to work out so perfectly.
Yeah.
And it just might not be that way for that. And so, but learn how to create spaces for one another. I know this podcast is about, Black men in safe space, and we were able to provide that space for DJ to talk, about what it feels like. But it also goes both ways too. And so that's what we're trying to say. It goes both ways.
I mean, yeah, it definitely goes both ways. As far as
it's always talk about us.
The men's side is, of course, it's difficult, especially like I said, we're not used to that. Especially coming from, whatever background, dealing with your mom or your dad, it always starts there. Or parents, grandparents, whoever, upbringing with. Some people just don't have the parents, so it's even tougher. Therapy is an option. Just because we're playing that and saying, oh, dismiss us with therapy, but therapy is definitely an option. Now the answer for not therapy is one, go to God and find your friend group or something like that that believes in God too, that can hold you accountable for things. Definitely for men, accountability is the biggest part. I'm still learning that because I'm in a group right now that we hold each other accountable. As far as trying to be on time with things, delivering things, whatever it is. Like, even if we have issues, we try to talk about it, and it's hard to find a group like that. So just try to find at least one friend that you be accountable with, not no surface stuff where you just talk about 2K all day or women. Just find ways to have that accountability where you can, have that connection. Because one, I've told you this, where men shouldn't put peace in their woman.
Shouldn't find peace.
No, because you see it where it's just like, oh, she's my peace and this and that. Thing is, that can easily break.
Man, because when you get her mad,
that piece is gone. And where you got to go? You got nowhere. So don't put your piece. You can put a piece of your piece, if that makes sense. You have a little bit of your piece in her, but don't put it all there.
And sometimes we don't want all of that.
No,
that's a lot of weight on us.
It is. I ain't gonna tell where I heard this from.
Okay,
but you could tell that there's one man that I heard where he put all his piece in her. I mean, it was like obsessive amount of in her, and she wasn't into him like that. She just wanted the body part, but
wanted the body part.
He was like, "Oh, you my piece. I want to see you all the time. I want you here all the." And the thing with our piece, we are obsessive with it. So if you put that in the woman, she's gonna get a little scared. Like, what you doing? Doing a little too much. You kind of clutching on a little strong, sir. So just don't put your piece there. Find someone else.
Jesus.
Not someone else. Something else. And like she said, Jesus.
Man. Because God does wonders. I had to realize what God can do for me to help me not become the manipulative and not provide a safe space. I think we just don't have enough. Take some time. It takes some time for me to actually realize that, and it still does. Like, I have to pray and not go off on him at times when I want to.
Yeah, because it won't even be me. It'd be my dream self.
Yep.
But I just sense.
It takes a lot, and that's where we talk about sacrifice, we talk about marriage, and like, are you really ready? Do you have a temperature gauge to where you know that, okay, God, I need you right now. Let me turn it down, dial it down a bit, put me back down to where I need to sit down and be calm in the situation so we can have a good conversation, kind of deal.
I think that's one thing. I ain't gonna say it like, because I feel like it's wrong to say in control of your feelings. It's more of you know how to acknowledge what the feeling is, like sift through it and then come talk to me. Because I'm like, oh yeah, she know how to control her feelings. No. It's just, you know how to acknowledge and identify what that feeling is, why it's happening, and then come talk to me. It's more like in a way, it's more like a controlled thing, but not fully controlled, because it's still there. Because it could still be wild.
And honestly, if I let it, when the flesh takes in, that's when it happens.
Yeah. So I will say you do that very well, because when you come to me and was like, oh, okay, I understand now, because it's like you're actually talking, and I think that's the biggest thing. You're actually talking logic about your feelings, and not just feelings first, then logic.
Self-awareness.
It's the self-awareness.
Took a lot for me to be self-aware.
Yeah.
That's what's lacking out
there. And the thing is, a lot of women are not.
No.
Actually, there was a conversation about that at work. Somebody was like, I don't think I'll ever, and it's crazy, I don't ever think I'll try to stab my husband. I was like, what are y'all talking about? But it was talking about a woman who's pregnant with her hormones, sorry, and how she was trying to stab her husband. I was like, well, thing is, if she was already kind of like that beforehand, having a baby is just gonna make it worse. And she probably automatically, you did this to me, I gotta poke. Wow. So she was like, I went there. I was like, you probably thought it though, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
She was like, I was like, yeah, it's just the only thing is
Mm-hmm.
she's probably already put hands on him before.
Mm-hmm.
So the knife is just an extra.
It's the extra thing.
So just sit through it, understand your feelings. If you want to talk to him about it, talk to him calmly
I wish
about how
somebody
you
could see
felt.
your hands right now. I wish people could see how your
Talk
hands
to him.
because he was doing
How you
this.
felt, because I'm doing this to my legs.
I don't know. That's his serious hands.
My serious hands. Just talk to him how you felt. And then try to find an understanding in that instead of just going fuel feelings. That's fuel feelings.
Actually, that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother thing.
That.
Fuel feelings.
The fuel feelings course. Okay. Oh, you talking about Candid, a product. My bad.
Product. Anyway,
okay.
Let's keep it moving because I keep going.
Anyway, so so that's what we wanted to talk about as far as tonight's episode 9. But for the next episode, y'all, episode 10. Actually, I'm gonna give credit to DJ, to Babe.
Let me know what we talking about.
That the next one we're gonna do a Q&A episode, a Q&A episode.
Is.
So I think there's a way for you to put in the Spotify.
Oh, the Q&A?
Yeah, can you put people can type their comments or what they want us to talk about or any questions you might have.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start doing a lot more.
Actually, it's on every single one. There should already be a Q&A on there.
Okay. So for this episode, under this one, comments or whatever, YouTube, just put question for next episode. Just go ahead and say whatever your question is. We're going to answer it. And I'm thinking we should go live for the last episode. Of course, the live won't stay up. You'll have to go to the actual podcast episode. But for the live, because we'll have to make some edits probably, make sure.
I'll probably clip this. So what you need to do.
Sorry.
We have a Q&A. So either on YouTube, Spotify, I don't know about Apple.
It's in the comments, the review section.
Whatever comment section we have, we have a Q&A as a way.
Yes, and I'll be posting throughout the week also.
Yeah.
About that, and we're gonna do a short video right here so we can let y'all know too about what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So make sure you do that. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all for tuning in to this episode. We have so much more coming along the way. Yeah. So catch us next time on When Marriage
and Purpose
Collide,
the podcast.
We out.
Peace.
We out.
Thank you for tuning into When Marriage and Purpose Collide podcast.
Click on the link in the description to learn a little more about us. Subscribe and send a review on your takeaways or any new insight you have gained in this episode.
See you back here for our next episode. Peace.